Welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So, I'm going to address racism again. And I'm going to say this because this is rarely ever getting done on any social media outside of TikTok. There are not enough indigenous people talking about indigenous issues here on YouTube or on Instagram or on Facebook. As a person who is mixed native, I thought I should probably address this, and I hope that this goes far and wide amongst all things that I've posted. This will probably be the most important thing. There's not enough indigenous representation, which is why no news medias are covering it, which is why we don't get to see ourselves on TV. Now, granted, Marvel is coming out with Echo, so Kevin Feige, if you're listening, and if you guys decide to do another season of She-Hulk, I am available. I also do Kung Fu in my own stunts. Yes, I'm a little older than most of the people you hire because I am highly in my 40s, like damn near 50. And I do Kung Fu. Now, this isn't about me. This is about the lack of indigenous representation. This is about the lack of people doing what they need to do to insist or assist in helping indigenous issues come to the forefront. Now, granted, Hilary Swank just came out with a TV show that I freaking missed, but it is bringing MMIW, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, MMIWNG, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, MMIP, Missing and Murdered Indigenous People, MMIWGP and Two Spirits, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women, Girls, and People, and Two Spirits. Do not ask me to explain the Two Spirits. I'm still learning. But I will tell you that there is no one addressing this shit. And it is pissing me off that if not for TikTok, there would be no anything about indigenous people. And it pisses me off. And I'm going to tell you another thing that pisses me off is indigenous erasure. And I've made some mistakes in my indigenous journey. And I will say that they were made before I made my reconnecting journey, where you see me in war paint and you see me in a fucking suit that I got from a fucking costume store because there's nowhere to get real regalia here in Virginia. I own those mistakes because I am part indigenous and I owe the indigenous community apology. So instead of giving you an apology, because apologies are mostly hollow, I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that when I get famous, indigenous issues are taken care of. I'm kind of mad that a lot of famous indigenous actors aren't getting on top of this shit. And I mean you full-blooded actors, because I'm mixed. I'm never going to be pure indigenous. Never. And I've been told that by at least 2 indigenous men who I personally threatened to roll down a hill in their wheelchairs and threatened to roll into the street. So me apologizing doesn't undo my sins. So instead of apologizing, I will do atonement by making sure that indigenous shit is covered. Rather it be here, rather it be on Instagram, rather it be on TikTok. I will bring that shit up at least once a month if possible. Now I say if possible because sometimes life gets in the way. I'm one heartbeat away from graduating, and when we go back to school on Thursday, we will be covering indigenous issues in policing. So that's going to be great for me. But I want to make shit perfectly clear. Indigenous issues are not being covered. They are not being covered. And I want to address this also because there are a lot of people who are Afro-Indigenous, but they are not joining the indigenous fight to get the land back. They're not joining the indigenous fight to stop indigenous erasure. They are not joining the people who aren't indigenous. And they're doing things that aren't, like, suitable. Now, I have no dog in the fight because unlike Modern Warrior, no one knows who the fuck I am. No one cares who the fuck I am. But I still have a voice. It is small. It is mighty. But that does not change the fact that it is still small. And to anyone who's following me, if you're indigenous, we need to collaborate. If you are mixed indigenous or mixed native like me, because I'm not used to saying mixed indigenous, I'm used to saying mixed native. If you are like me, and you have indigenous roots or mixed native roots, We need to collaborate and push indigenous issues to the forefront so that NBC, ABC, CBS, CNN, Fox, and every other news outlet gets their ass in gear about pipelines, about taking the land from natives, even though you have treaties that say you can't be there, but yet you're there. Stopping the salmon from swimming upstream, you're destroying the ecosystem, you're killing the bears, you're killing the indigenous people, and yet you want to complain because they don't want you there. Hey, motherfuckers, you're not supposed to be there because the treaties said so. But they're not honoring the treaties. So I'm sorry for swearing. But it does affect me on some level or another because I'm on my reconnecting journey. I have to do a genealogy test. I have to find a blood quantum test. The BIA has me jumping through all these fucking hoops out of the hopes that I'm going to quit and give up so that I can't get my native card. Well, hopefully before I die, the name Echo Fang Grey Wolf will be synonymous with native indigeneity. Trying to prove my indigeneity has been a bit of an issue. Now, here's the thing. All through school, it's you're mixed. What are you mixed with? What are you mixed with? I said, well, I'm black and native and I'm white. And they're like, yeah, well, we can see that. But what are you mixed with? I was like, well, we were told it was Cherokee. I'm finding that it might not be Cherokee on my father's side. It might only be Cherokee on my grandmother's side, which I need to go and talk to her about as soon as possible before she leaves this world. But on my father's side, Charles City does not have any Cherokee stuff. It has a different thing. So I don't even know how to pronounce that shit. But there's a big native community that was in Charles City, which my grandmother Ada came from. So I don't know how that works. I'm still trying to figure that out. I need somebody who knows something about genealogy to help me out. But that being said, that's not important. Nothing that I said about me and my grandmother is important. What is important is that we bring native and indigenous matters to the forefront and that the news starts covering it. Not just with a TV show to make more aware, but with representation on more than one TV show. With news actually getting their asses to reservations and talking to actual natives who are there, that are on the front lines, going to these indigenous meetings, going to these rallies, going to all this shit. Where's the news? Where is the news? Why are you not covering it? And that's pretty much all I'm going to say in this video. Why are you not covering it? And I'm going to end this video right here with this. Indigenous people aren't going anywhere. They are strong. Mixed natives are valid. And we are coming home. We are reconnecting and we are coming home. Whether we are accepted or not, we are reconnecting and we are coming home. And we need y'all to teach us what we were lost from, what was stolen from us, what the 60s scoop did, what the residential schools did. We need to know. Because we need to know our story of where we came from so that we can know where the fuck we're going. That being said, I am Echo Fang Grey Wolf. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.